I think, can you hear me, Gabrielle?
Yes, we can see
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
So happy. So hello, everyone. I'm happy to be there today with you. I'm Adrienne de Malleray. As you have said, Gabrielle, I'm the co-founder of Genesis. So who is Genesis? Genesis is a provider of proof of impact related to land use. So I have heard my colleague before, Stefania and Frank Boissino from a P2B and Biosphere, and I totally agree with them. We need partnership, and I think that's a subject that we have to that I want to speak today. We need partnership. We need partnership between private and public sector. We need partnership between private and scientists. We need this kind of partnership because the question today is how we can scale up, how we can accelerate, how we can transform our vision about soil. That's really the point. So I'm going to talk later about Genesis at the next session to talk about the MRV tool. So you will learn a little bit more about technically what Genesis is doing. But now I want just to introduce, to give you a global overview. So as I said, we work with the private sector. We work with big companies. It could be biosourced companies, so textile, cosmetic, food, but it's also bank and fund. And you can ask me, but what's the link between this kind of company and the soil? All these companies need soil, they need land to source their product. And it's beginning to be a real problem for them. And I think that because it is a problem for them, it's maybe the beginning of the solution. Because they need to source, they need to define what kind of risk they could have. And we try to help them to find what kind of commodities could have the best impact and to decide which kind of commodities they will source. We help them to report on their sourcing. So when they have the traceability, when they know where they are sourcing, we are working with the companies, the cooperative, the farmers, and we measure inside the field the impact of the production. So, and after that, as a third step, we help them to regenerate. So we make correlation between what we have measured inside the soil and the practices they have in a pedoclimatic context. And so, because there's not only one agriculture, there's many agriculture over the world. So, and there's many contexts, and there are many situations and livelihoods. So, it's really difficult to give just one framework for all this type of agriculture. So, we try to work at a really small level to help them concretely, to help companies, to help farmers. That's exactly like that we are working. How it works? So we begin at the ground level, so in the field, and we measure, we define the homogeneity of the plots, and we make samples. So it's more than 5 samples per plots. And after, with all the measures we have done, it's a raw data, and we normalize the raw data to provide a simple score. Why a score? It's not to say that there's some farmers have done a good job or a bad job. That's not our goal. The goal is to can compare the impact of practices. It's really to help, and it's to monitor over time and to help them to define which kind of practices they can scale at the country or region level. And we can do that, and that's what I want to say, only because we have scientific partnership. And if you have the science who works alone, I think you don't have innovation. If you have private sector work alone, I think you cannot transform solution in an environmental impact, because we need the science to do that. And I think today it's because we have worked with Rothamsted, with Wageningen, for the carbon, we work a lot with the CNRS, École Normale Supérieure in France. And it's this work together that help us to have this kind of impact. It's really, really important. And we are involved now in many research programs at the European level. And we need to make more. And maybe if there is some scientist in other region of the world, we are really interested to make R&D program with them, because I think that we need knowledge about soil, and we need to work together for that. And that's the scientific part. But when we are talking with private sector, we need to create this common language. And this common language is to transform, so as I said before, the raw data to a normalized score. And we provide at the end a score about biodiversity, climate, water, and fertility. That's all the functions that the soil provides, and many others, but we focus on this one. And through this score, we help companies to report on their voluntary or mandatory commitments. It could be science-based targets, it could be CSRD when it's in EU, it could be corporate commitments like regenerative organization, and we help them to provide the right metrics for that. And to finish, just to give you an overview, in 5 years, we have begun 5 years ago. It was really hard to talk about soil health. When we meet enterprise, when we meet sometimes scientists, they say soil health. No, that's not the subject. It's soil quality. It's not soil health. And 5 years later, everyone talk about soil health. And I think it's a success. And thanks to the 4,000, thanks Gabrielle and Paul for all the things you do to raise the awareness about this subject. Because if we focus on soil health, I think we can transform the agriculture model. We can transform it. And I think agriculture can become the solution for the transition. So I think maybe I will see some of you later for the Deloitte study, but I have finished now. Thank you.